Hello everyone, this is L2 in Gaming with another edition of Let's Talk, and we are going to be talking about the Steelers because yep, it's about that time. It's the end of July. All the teams are heading to training camp. Sad we got some players already hurt. My heart and condolences go out to the Cincinnati Bengals with their quarterback, with Joe. Like, no ill will. We want everyone. I want everyone in the division to be 100% ready to go. No excuses. Except for Deshaun Watson. Fuck him. But anyway, still made some moves on the offseason. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all the signings that they made, the draft, the rest of the trade actions, and my prediction on how their season is going to be. So, without further ado, let's get started. One of the Steelers' biggest problems on defense was the cornerback play. Let's face it, guys, we were getting cooked. So what did the Steelers do? Surprisingly, they pick up Patrick Peterson, an all-pro. Now, I know what you're thinking, but he's 33 years old. And yeah, and you're absolutely right. But you remember that cornerback that the Steelers had a couple of years ago? What was his name? Oh, Joe Hayden. How did that work out? What the Steelers need for their defense is consistent quarterback play. And I feel like that getting Patrick Peterson was a great move. Same as Joe Hayden, we're going to ask him to control one side of the field and let TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith do their thing. And if we can get consistent cornerback play from Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace, and that's this other player that we drafted, I'm telling you, it's going to be something special. One of my main issues in the past 2 or 3 years that I felt the Steelers was just dancing around and not addressing the issue to was the offensive line. I'm not going to lie to you. I was not happy when the Steelers decided to draft Najee Harris at first over the fact that, we just lost Pouncey due to retirement. We needed, to fill that void. And I felt like even though they got cold and they eventually, I felt like they did not address the offensive line enough. And with this guy, Kenny Pickett, already having 2 concussions, man. All right, now something's got to give. I mean, I know that some of you don't want to see this guy quarterbacking for the Steelers, right? And I sure as hell don't want to see this jack off right here. Yeah, Mason Rudolph. I tell you right now, if for some reason Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky is just out of the game, and this guy Mason Rudolph comes in, the quarterback, and you're expecting a video the next day from me? Shit. So what did the Steelers do this offseason? Well, they revamped the offensive line. They pick up Nate Herbert, who's looking like one of the fat boys. Then they picked up Isaac Sinamalu. If I butcher your name, man, please, I apologize. A very consistent offensive lineman from the Philadelphia Eagles. And then something I've been asking for the past 2 or 3 years. They finally drafted an offensive lineman in the first round. Like, thank the Lord. And they end up picking up Roderick Jones from the Georgia Bulldogs. Look, man, always been a fan of them SEC offensive linemen, grimy, eating meat and potatoes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, and this is the guy right here. Like, thank the Lord. They finally pick up something I've been asking for all these years. So, with our new Revamp offensive line, that's going to hopefully help Kenny Pickett feel more comfortable in the pocket we got to come up with a name for this new offensive line, and I just got the perfect name for him. Yep, you guessed it. Picket Fences. What a perfect name for our revamped offensive line. That's all I'm going to say on that. Let's move on. So, we got Patrick Peterson, one side of the field, and we got Levi Wallace on the other side. Who's going to be playing the slot? Joey Porter Jr., that's who. Look, man, I was surprised that the Steelers even had a chance of even getting him. I have mentioned him in one of my older videos last season, but I was expecting the Steelers to pick up Joey Porter Jr. I thought they had no shot, but man. So this is for our young Steelers fans out there who happen to drop by and watch my video. This is the son of Joey Porter, one of our great outside linebackers that we had around in the 2000s. So anyway, I really do love this pick. We do need serious help on the quarterback position as well, and with Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace, Joey Porter Jr., hopefully Corey Trice, with everything nice that we drafted somewhere in the 7th round. Man, I hope that, they still need a lot of work. We still need at least maybe one more veteran cornerback. That would be great. Maybe we could pick up another one after the training camp and preseason over with. But other than that, man, I'm really like this. So we got Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace, Joey Porter Jr., Fitzpatrick, and Kazi. Like, come on now. Does that get you a little bit excited about how the whole defense is going to perform? I mean, if this doesn't get you excited, hey man, then nothing will. One of the things that I talked about at the end of the season was how I felt like Kenny needed more weapons in his arsenal. And I felt like even though we had George Pickens, we had Deontay Johnson, I felt like they were missing a good veteran receiver that could come in when Kenny needed to get out of jam, and these guys are now open. You can always rely on this veteran receiver to come in and and put in the work. I know we had Gunner, and I know we had Boykins, and I forgot about Kevin Austin, who was hurt the whole season. We were missing that as well, but ain't nothing like a veteran receiver that could come in the clutch. And I feel like Allen Robinson is that guy. Like, granted, I know that he's like pretty pissed off with the Rams, like trading him with a 7th round draft pick. Like, come on now. But hey, another man's trash is another man's treasure. And I feel like Allen Robinson got something to prove. Like, come on, he ought to be ticked off right now. And we got to talk about our potential X factor in our office right now, and that is Darrell Washington. Look, man, 6'7" tight end. Like, this is just, now Greg, my brother, he said that it reminded him of Leonard Pope. And not a bad comparison, because hey, Leonard Pope, an old tight end from Georgia years ago, he was a bad dude too. But me, I was thinking of Eric Green. But that's just me. But anyway, man, if Darrell Washington comes in and be a force that he is, 6'7", very good receiver in Georgia, and a good blocker. So we got him, and we got Pat Freiermuth, right? Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Allen Robinson, Calvin Austin coming back. Like, woo!
that you never will.
Oh boy!
That stuff is.
Yeah!
Okay, fellas, let's check out the rest of the trade actions. So, as you can see, they released William Jackson. They signed Patrick Peterson for a 2-year contract. They released Mal Jack. I liked him. I don't know why but hey, I mentioned that we signed Nate Herbert. And then the most interesting two signings were Holcomb and Leonard Roberts, which is that's going to be interesting. That's my only concern. If there was any concern on the defense, it would have to be the inside linebackers. Now, Devin Bush, who, I felt like, man, what if he didn't have that knee injury? I mean, would he still be on the team? I think he just lost his confidence. No, it wasn't even that. I feel like, look, with an ACL injury, what my friend Kennard mentioned, that he had a ACL, it takes years to fully recover. And for the fact that he came back a year after the ACL, that's great as well. Like, he's not gonna get enough credit for that. But the fact of the matter is this, man, the NFL, this is a tough sport, man. Either you bring it or you don't. Like, and it takes 2 years to recover from an ACL, a torn ACL, man. That's a given fact. And I just felt like, he didn't have that swagger that he had in his rookie year. And then I felt like he was hearing all that noise from the fans, and how the fans was like disappointed in him and everything, and he let that get to him. But hey, he's moving on to the Seattle Seahawks, and I wish him all the best in the world. I hope he, show the Steelers that, hey, maybe you should have had kept him. And then we have Robert Spillane, who, he wasn't bad either. He came in after Devin Bush got hurt, and he performed well enough. And he wasn't, like I say, he wasn't bad, but like, we can, I'm not disappointed that he's gone. Put it like that. I just hope that these two guys, Elandon Roberts and Cole Holcomb, can bring more into the inside linebacker. Cause, hey, if things want to work in this defense, in the Steelers 3-4, you got to have athletic inside linebacker that's willing to do the dirty work, while we have TJ Watt and Highsmith doing their thing on the outside. Like this got to work. So we signed Miles Boykins into the receiver. He's probably him and Gunner is gonna probably fight for the last spot, guaranteed. Because we already got Allen Robinson, we got Deontay Johnson, George Pickett, and Calvin Austin is not going anywhere. So I'm looking at the receiving. I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers keeping at least five at least. And I feel like Gunner and Boykins, that's going to be a very interesting, training camp battle right there. Because, like, whoever performs better is gonna win that last spot. Unless the Steelers decide to keep at least 6 receivers. Then, that throws that out of the way. Okay, we talk about the draft. We're talking about Roger Jones. We talk about Joe Porter Jr. 3rd round pick, Keanu Benton, DL. Linebacker Nick Herbert, who's supposed to be, I guess, TJ Watt protege. We'll see how that works. And then we got Corey Trice Jr. And then Spencer Anderson. Oh yeah, and about the inside linebackers, I forgot to mention about Mark Robinson as well. Like, I mean, is he gonna come in and step up and be the starter? I mean, that's another training camp battle that I'm looking forward to. to seeing. Let's move on. We signed DeMonte Kazi after Edmonds left. I don't too much care about that. Zach Gentry signed to a 1-year deal. Why? Oh, because Darren Washington might not be, 100% coming into the season, but we'll check out for that. Then he signed a nose tackle, Brandon Fehoko, Keenan Neal, Keanu. Man, I'm butchering these people's names. We signed Neal for a 2-year deal. I don't too much know about him. I don't too much know about Watts. Tanner Muse is more of a special teams player. And then they claimed a punter from the New York Jets, Brandon Mann. Like, Preston Harvin got to step up, man. Like, his kicking, his punting has been too sporadic for my taste. And we ain't had a very good punter in a long time. I don't know, since Mark Roy's in 93 or 92. Like, Jesus. But anyway, let's move on to the schedule. As you remember, we got only 3 preseason games: Tampa Bay, Buffalo, and Atlanta. And then we're moving on to the regular season. We got the 49ers in the first game. And that's gonna tell us where we are. Like, how good are we? And we hitting Cleveland on a Monday Night Football game. Las Vegas, Houston, Baltimore, Rams, Jacksonville. That's gonna be a tough one. Man, all these games gonna be tough. Divisional games with Buffalo and Cleveland and Cincinnati is gonna be tough. So we got the Rams, then we got Jacksonville, Tennessee, Green Bay, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Arizona, New England, Thursday night game, and then we got Indianapolis, which is gonna be to be announced, Cincinnati, Seattle, and then Baltimore. Yeah, man, this is gonna be an interesting season. The Steelers, this is not a transition season no more. I feel like the Steelers are, with the moves they made, they're showing us that this is more than a transition season. This is a season of reckoning, I guess. So with the moves that they made to strengthen the offensive line, more arsenal weapons for Kenny Pickett, signing a veteran cornerback, all-pro cornerback to come in, drafting a rookie to succeed him when he retires. I mean, you look at the moves that they made. Like, this is going to be a very interesting season. However, I know everyone is expecting the Steelers to be like 12-5. I don't think that's the case. I think they are a good team. They are a better team. But I don't see their record being 12-5 or even 11-6. Yeah, I see this team being slightly better than last year. And I'm predicting that their record is going to be 10-7.
Joke.
Now, allow me to explain. Now, Kenny Pickett is still in his second year. Like, he had a great rookie season. Like, he showed us that he is potentially that guy to be our next franchise quarterback. But remember that he is still in his second year, right? Like, I feel like, in my opinion, this is just all my opinion, why he's going to be more confident in, in his performance and everything. I still think that he's going to make, a couple of mistakes. I feel like, being this is his sophomore year, he's going to go through the growing pains of the sophomore slump. And he's going to cause us maybe 2 or 3 games, right? So that's right there. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. This is it. I think he's gonna get he's going to go through a little bit of a sophomore slump this year, right? That's one. Number two, I'm not expecting this team to go undefeated now. Are you? Like, of course not. They're going to lose maybe two or more games where, you know, maybe they're not playing as well as they could, right? Or maybe they just come out and just stink up the joint, you know? And number three, we still have this easy little bit of problem. Yeah. Now, you see why I'm saying that I think that we're going to go 10-7? You think I'm just talking crazy, right? Okay, we still got a problem, right? And it's this man right here, Matt Canada. Man, I hope he's been like playing Madden or something and getting his playbook all together. You know how in Madden, you might go through the offensive playbooks and stuff, and you might see like Andy Reid name as the Kansas City offense and stuff like that. If this man was this man wouldn't even be in the playbook. The Steelers offense would be just default with a lot of pedestrians in here. That's what I think about Matt Canada. Like he just a guy with just basic, boring ass, predictable plays in his arsenal. And we could have gotten Brian Leftwich. I mean, he don't got a job right now. Hell, we should have gave a phone call to Urban Emily, and maybe, just maybe, gave him an offer. He would have came over here. Like, right? But no, since Najee Harris and Kenny Pickett gave him his praise and all that, and this is the reason why the Steelers decided to just keep it for one more year, which I think, in my opinion, that's a badass decision. Like, what's going on there? I mean, well, I guess they didn't want Kenny Pickett like learning a new playbook or whatever. But here you go, you can always find somebody else. You could have had Brian Leftwich come over here and got the playbook, the same playbook that Steelers used last year, right? I mean, it's not hard. But hey, they want to keep Matt in Canada. That's fine and all, but man, I know this team for a fact. I might be wrong. Like, they still might go 12-5, and he ain't gonna be the reason for it. And this concludes this video. Thank you for checking it out. If you like what you see, give me a like and subscribe. Yeah, baby, NFL is back. We here. Here's another question I gotta ask. What the fuck is he doing with his hands? Is he trying to direct traffic or something? Like, seriously, what he need to do is take his ass back to Indiana and learn how